जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारि यमुना तीरवनचारि यमुना तीरवनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्रोत्र श्री श्रीमद् अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन ब्यूटी फाउंडर आचार्य शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्रोत्र श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य शीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, always Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shrimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 16, verses 21 and 22. Ta Krishna Mataram Apatyam Anupravishtam Tulya Vyathya Samanugriya Sucha Shravantya Tasta Vrajapriya Katha Kathayanta Asan Krishna Nanir Pita Drisho Mritaka Pratika. Translation. Although the elder gopis were feeling just as much distressed as she and were pouring forth a flood of sorrowful tears, they had to forcibly hold back Krishna's mother, whose consciousness was totally absorbed in her son, standing like corpses with their eyes fixed upon his face. These gopis each took turns recounting the pastimes of the darling of Vraj. Krishna pranam nirvishato nanda din vikshya tam ridham pratyasedhat sa bhagavan Ramakrishna-anubhavavit. Lord Balram then saw that Nanda Maharaj and other cowherd men who had dedicated their very lives to Krishna were beginning to enter the serpent's lake. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Balram fully knew Lord Krishna's actual power and therefore he restrained them. Purport. Srila Sanatana Goswami explains that Lord Balram checked some of the cowherd men by speaking to them, others by physically holding them, and still others by casting upon them his potent smiling glance. Distraught over the situation, they were prepared to give up their lives for Lord Krishna by entering the serpent's lake. Om Ajnanatimirantasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam pangulangati girim yat kipaatam mande Shri Guru Dinatar. Vancha kalpatarasya kipa sindhu echa patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo namo namah. Although the elder gopis were feeling just as much distress as she were pouring forth a flood of sorrowful tears, they had to forcibly hold back Krishna's mother, whose consciousness was totally absorbed in her. So we are entering the pastime, we've already entered the pastime of Kaliya. And we know that because so many instances, there is that Maharaj explains that there is misdirected compassion. Misdirected compassion. Compassion in general we see is good. Yes, we have compassion for, the poor, the sick, the diseased, which is good. Yes, if somebody is trying to kill somebody else and we protect them, that is actually good. So Shaubari Muni is doing his tapasya in the lake, and he sees Garuda come by and pick up the king of the fish. Yes. And then Shaubari Muni actually curses Garuda that if you come back over here again, that you will die. Garuda is the Lord's, one of his associates. Yes, he's fully independent, he's transcendental. And that's why it's very bewildering, inconceivable to think that how come this pastime is happening? How come he's picking up a fish? That's his food, Maharaj explains. And it is still bewildering that how is it we are told to be vegetarian and one of the Lord's associates is actually eating fish. But that is the inconceivable nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's why the Acharyas, without the Acharya's help, we will be lost. We need to have the vision of the Acharyas. And then that's why the pastimes and the intricacies of the Shastras is revealed to us by the blessings. Yasya Devi Parabhakti Yatha Devi Tatha Guru. Only by affection to the Guru actually blesses with Krishna's love. Yes. It is through that process. And there is no other process. One might say that no, why this way only? Why can't it be the other way? That I sit in the class and I should get everything. That I do everything properly, then I should get it. No. The process is in that way. The process is to please the representatives of the Lord. And by that pleasing, yes, then Krishna becomes happy. And by Krishna becoming happy, he will bestow the mercy to actually clear our anathas, and we will move ahead. By pleasing Krishna, yes, by pleasing the Guru, by pleasing Krishna, Maharaj is saying that what does it mean to do service? That is, seva and service are two different things. He was saying that we do service, as in like I go to the company and then I'm typing something on the keyboard. And that is my service. But is that seva? It is not seva. Seva means to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his representatives, his associates. And in that, what does it mean to do that? Prabhupada explained, seva means devotional service. With devotion, with that intent to please the other person. With the intent to please the other person, we actually make progress. Yes. Maharaj was explaining that what does it mean to please someone else? It's just to make them happy. As simple as that. Because by that affection, the secrets are revealed to us. Even though the secret might be out there. Like there is that concept of realization. If you are realized, that means you do it. If you know it, but still you are not able to do it, that means you are not realized. An alcoholic person Till the time he accepts that he is an alcoholic. Yes, that's the first step. After he accepts that he is an alcoholic, then he actually moves ahead. Yes. And when he's moving ahead, he needs to understand what is this alcoholism doing to his life. And after he's realized what it has done to him, then he's ready to give it up. But till the time he's not realized, he won't give it up. Yes, that's why for people like me, till the time you hit the floor, you don't understand. Yes, a fool learns by experience. And that is the default setting of the material world. By experience, we understand that this is not working out. Yes. And that's why, by affection, after we've realized that yes, only by this way Krishna becomes happy, and by pleasing Krishna only, then it will be revealed to me what is bhakti. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyanaavritam anukulyasna Krishnanu shilanam bhakti uttamam. What is bhakti? What is the greatest form of bhakti? Without jnana karma. But this is jnana and karma, we think. We are thinking about the Lord and we are gaining knowledge. So Maharaj was explaining yesterday in the class that if that jnana, if that information is not producing emotion, yes, then what's the use? Because that means we haven't developed devotion by studying Srimad Bhagavatam or by studying any other scripture, whether it's Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. That if there is no devotion to be felt, to be given, then that reading is useless. Yes, then we are doing service and not seva. Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days, and that's why we read the Bhagavad. We are reading it for 70 years, 7 years, 70 minutes. But there is no change like Parikshit Maharaj. Why? Because it is not because Krishna would be happy that I am reading Bhagavatam. It's because somebody out there might be listening and I might be getting name, fame, prestige. It is so easy to be in bhakti, at least to get that side product. People start asking you. And that's how we fall into the ditch of Maya. Kaliya, when he entered the lake, was poisoning each and everything in that lake. The trees around were withering out. Even when the birds would fly over the lake, they would fall unconscious. That was his poison. But it is so, we have come to a dramatic phase where Krishna jumps into, he sees that the cows drank, and then they are getting unconscious. And the kids are getting unconscious. Krishna runs into the lake, ties his, what do you call that? The scarf, I would say. What we tie to the Lord. No, on the waist. On the waist we have that cloth, right? Waist cloth or whatever that is. So he tied that, hit his arms and his legs in a mood to fight. And then he jumped from that tree. Today we have that tree in Vrindavan, right? He jumped from the tree into the river. Not thinking about himself, doing seva. Yes. Diving deep into that poisonous lake. And actually, when he comes out, Krishna is not out yet. He's still in the lake. And it's bewildering. What happened? Where is he? And that's why these gopis, they're so much in distress. Krishna is enticing and creating such emotions. Braj is all about anxieties, spiritual anxieties. Srila Prabhupada said that we are not there for peace. Yes, you might be there for a moment, but to have the anxiety to serve the Lord is the greatest happiness. I had heard this pastime like 10 years back. in my undergrad. And then Prabhupada, I think it was one of the builders of ISKCON Vrindavan. They were building the temple. And he was saying, Prabhupada, I'm just tired. I do not even have time to chant. I don't want to do this. I just want to be like those Brajavasis who walk every day over here, say Radhe Radhe, and they're chanting Hare Krishna and being happy. I want to do that. I don't want this anxiety. And Prabhupada said that you are in much more ecstasy than they are. This is spiritual anxiety. You are having anxiety for the Lord. And that is good. Yes. And that is perfection. And over here we can see the same thing. They are anxious, they are distressed for Krishna. Yeah? Krishna is giving them experiences, so many experiences to express their love for him. And he is in the lake underwater, we do not know what's happening. And then he comes out, with Kaliya. And Kaliya comes out. What kind of a beautiful darshan that might be. Yes. We get excited for Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima, that what is going to be on the altar, how other deity is going to be dressed, And that's why, yes, it's an art, but it is an expression of the devotion also. Yes, it is an expression of devotion. That how much are we willing to go through the extra mile to serve the Lord. And that's why we do not have faith. This is the problem. One of my relatives was saying that, externally speaking, we might be doing so much it is costing us so much, the festivals, this and that. Why do you do it? Why is there a need to do that? You could actually not do it and use the money in something else. Why are we wasting so much money? And that is the point of not being in Krishna conscious. Because what is the money then going to be used for? And that's where our consciousness lies. That how we are using the resources for Krishna's service. We have to be practical, but at the same time we have to be practical in Krishna consciousness and seeing how we are practically using that Lakshmi. We do not have faith that after doing these festivals, it will give us something in return. If it does not give me publicity, if it does not give me population, if it does not give me adoration, what is the use? I spent so much money and I did not get anything in return. If that's our consciousness, that's why we do not move. We do not have faith that by serving Krishna and for spending for Krishna, Krishna will be happy. And after Krishna being happy, that's what I want. However he might keep me, it does not matter. It is his happiness that is important. But slowly and steadily, the snake of material energy actually devours us. Yes, Krishna is in the grips of Kaliya. It appears to be that. And Kaliya also thinks that Krishna is in my grips and I'm about to kill him. Yes, I'm about to kill him. And he's almost there. Krishna will enact these pastimes in such a way that the killer always thought that he's almost near. Just now. Kamsa always thought that now this demon will kill him. So close. Yes, Putna tried to kill, Bakasur tried to kill, Aghasur almost devoured Krishna. Almost the end. And now Kaliya in the serpent, in the grips and the coils of the snake, with those thousands of hoods, just about to kill Krishna. But Krishna is just, even a flick of a second, he's not at that position where Kaliya tries to kill him. He's in his grips and he's not now. And he's thinking, almost there, almost there, almost there. And it is like us, almost there, almost I'll enjoy, Almost if I do this, then I'll get the enjoyment I want. I will get the publicity I want. I will get the adoration I want. Yes. If somebody is going to glorify me in front of the whole audience, that is my perfection of life. But been there, done that, it's not much. It doesn't go far. Now what? And that's why in the material world, it's like you have to maintain that. You have to maintain that high. The high which you get by this Janma Aishwarya Shruti Shribhi. Yes. It's like you do a festival like Radhashtami, Janmashtami, and after a few days, that high gets, you're in that high, you have so many things to do, and suddenly it's gone. And then you crave for that. Srila Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna and stay high forever. And that's a fact, But we do not realize it. It's so difficult. And that's why one of my relatives, when they were mentioning that why do you spend so much money? There is no need to spend so much money. You can actually, get your interiors done. You can get your garden done. You can then get a better car. You can, have a luxurious life. What is this putting petals on Radha Madhav Hari going to get you? Spending so much Lakshmi just for something which is not even a 20-minute festival? What will it get you? Yes, practically speaking, it gets nothing. Yes, it's a waste of money. It is a waste of money. Yes. But that's where our consciousness is. Because it's more money conscious rather than Krishna conscious. Rather than, yes, you could do so many things, but this will make the Lord happy. Yes. Somebody came and told me this, that actually you can do one less festival. Why do you have to have new dresses every single time? Why do you have to do so much? It's fine. But no. And that's the point where we start seeing that, yes, you're not able to see. Yes, it's not about Krishna. It's about ourselves. And that's why, I don't know how to explain this. But it is so bewildering, like at least for me, It's like just seeing them in new dresses. Yes, and when it opens, the darshan opens, it's actually a feast for the eyes. It's a feast for the eyes. Maybe it's a material thing, maybe it's a spiritual thing, but who cares? Maybe you're doing it for yourself. Okay, at least I got that much. If that is so, then why to spend so much money to go for the movies? Why to spend so much money to get a big house? Because it is for my own sense gratification. Yes, eventually I can do so much sense gratification by that thousands of dollars which can be spent for myself. I'm spending it for something which is for only 20 minutes. Yes. Why should I spend so much money for new dresses? Why should I spend so much money, for those 20 minutes of pleasure which you're getting? But then that same thing can be said for everyone else. Why to have such a big house? You can be happy with one house. No, but I need 3 more. Why? Because I'll get income from it. Why do you want more money? You can survive by just eating dal and rice. No, because we want to do sense gratification. Yes. So if that is sense gratification, then we can clearly see that where is my sense gratification located? Is it for myself or is it with the Lord's service? Yes. I will give something to the Lord and I'll have 90% for myself. Then the Lord will also keep 90% to himself and give us only 10%. He won't give us bhakti. He won't give us the darshan. He won't give us that happiness. Not everybody feels the same. It is a fact. Somebody, and then I was like, yeah, you won't understand. You won't understand the happiness which you get by just pouring those flowers on the Lord. And seeing everyone being happy. Just to see them happy, it works out. That's it. That's what we wanted, and that's worth the spending. But if we are thinking too much that what will happen, like it's a waste of money and everything, okay. But the Lord is not going to be happy because He knows your consciousness is for sense gratification. We are already doing sense gratification so much. Yes. Then the comparison comes that, is it for yours with the Lord or without the Lord? That's the only thing. Yes, that's the only thing. And then when you start adding Krishna, like Prabhupada says, then slowly and steadily Krishna will remove that attachment for our own sense gratification. Otherwise He won't. Yes, if I see that, like having good dresses for the Lord is actually costing me too much, then I might get cheaper dresses. Yes, the Lord is going to behave with us cheaply also. That is for sure. Why? Because He will be like, you're not doing things. We do not have faith that after we give it to the Lord, is it really useful? That's the problem. Yes, we have to be practical, but at what cost also? Yes. Are we truly being practical, or are we truly trying to do sense gratification? That's a check, like I was saying in that class, that comes by Krishna's mercy only. It doesn't come by adding the numbers on the sheet. It doesn't come at all. It's so difficult. When you add the numbers, I can totally see I'm in a loss. But at the same time, Krishna is so merciful that because we are not at that platform, Krishna will provide so much realization that no, it's fine. I will take care of you. You don't have to worry. When we think about, what will happen, if I like not paint this hall. It's fine, nobody takes a look at it, not decorate it and all for festivals. So what? Yes, we can say all these things. But eventually, it goes down to our intent, anyabhilashita shunyam, how we are using the money. Is it for my sense gratification or is it for Krishna? And is it really, truly for Krishna? Yes. Because I might have a big house, I might have a good car, I might have a Tesla or a Lamborghini or, a BMW. But my altar at home might be this small. And then I might quote out that, no, I'm such a big devotee of the Lord and all that stuff. But we can clearly see, expensive watches, expensive this, expensive that. And when it comes time for festivals, I do not have the money to do it because I'm in debt. You were in debt, why? Because you wanted to do sense gratification. It's as simple as that. You could have spent it for the Lord, but no, I wouldn't spend it. Why should I spend it? Because what will I get from that? Because we do not have the vision. We do not have faith. Srila Prabhupada, he said very beautiful to Pankajangri Prabhu and, Jananivas Prabhu, that it's Radha Madhava. You serve them very nicely because they're pujaris, right? That's their seva. You serve them with full devotion. You dress them very beautifully. You take their darshan very well. You spend your energy in decorating them. And slowly, you will get rid of the decorations of this Maya. And it is a fact. It is a fact. For Jananivas Prabhu and Pankajangri Prabhu, who dedicated their whole life to the Sarva Shishi Radha Madhava. And today we see how opulently they get dressed. What is that inspiration for all deity worshippers all over the world? What kind of inspiration is that? That we are waiting even in, somewhere in Arizona, we are waiting to see the darshan on Radhashtami and Janmashtami. What are they going to do now? And for people like me, it works out. And that's why Srila Prabhupada made a house where everybody can stay. whether it is a deity worshipper, whether it is a person who likes to do kirtan, whether a person who likes to manage, whether a person who likes to serve prasad, whether one who likes to cook prasad. He made a house for everyone so that they can do it for Krishna. And he gave the philosophy also. And that's why over here, the attachment of the gopis to Krishna, yes, that is what is glorious. That is what Sukdev Goswami is mentioning over here. That their attachment, they have equal attachment, they're equally distressed. But they are caring for the other person. That Yashoda will not be able to handle herself. We have to handle her. We cannot go into, we cannot faint for her sake. That is seva. Yes, it's not just service. They love each other so much. They're centered around Krishna. And that's why Srila Prabhupada made a program which is centered around the deities. So that we can come together and serve the deities in such a way that they are pleased. And after they getting pleased, we will get everything. What is difficult for Krishna to give? Yes, he gave Sudama everything. He didn't even ask for it. Yes, he just went with chipped rice. Yeah, it was not expected. He didn't expect Krishna to give anything. Yes, he thought he will ask, but he's like, I cannot ask this. And Krishna, who's within the heart of everyone, he knows that he is suffering externally, but internally he has the greatest happiness. He turned the whole place, that whole hut, into more opulent than Indra's. Yes, Krishna can give. There is no problem. Yes, but if we are not doing it for him, like Sudama did only for him, then Krishna won't give. Because we have that attachment, he is going to burn it out and then he'll give, Usually he gives it that way. He usually burns that attachment, to the extent that we do not want it. And then he gives it. So if we are attached to money, power, prestige, we might get it very small, and we can try for it a lot. He doesn't give it. He'll give it and then he'll crush it, like Indra. So that's why our job is to just serve. It's very easy to say, very simple to say, very easy to repeat what Maharaj says. But that's the point, that at least, when we are speaking, when we are talking, Haldar Maharaj was saying, it's actually to yourself. And which is a fact, When we say all these things on the Vyasasana or to the public or to anyone, it actually nourishes our own self. Radhika Raman Prabhu was saying the same thing, that you're not just saying it because they want to hear it. You're saying it for yourself also. And when you do that, then you get more realization by speaking than they will get from hearing from you. And that's a fact. That's a fact. You enjoy speaking. Why? Because you start realizing stuff which was not there out there. Yes? And that's the fun part of, talking about and speaking about Srimad Bhagavatam and speaking about the Lord. You get realization. Sometimes we see, all these great souls, if you see, they are not just telling others. They are actually experiencing it. And in that experience, they become so jubilant. But initially, because we have to give a class, we start telling rather than experiencing. And that's where the problem lies then. Then it becomes instructive, which we are not there yet. We cannot give an instruction. At least I can't. And so that's why we experience through your own realization and what Maharaj has given. And then it works out perfectly. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.